everybody, welcome to another Moarhammer Battle Report. This is the first in a series of 3 games from an event I recently went to, the Hobby Mingvitationals. This was a kind of a hobby-based event, so all the games have specific missions that are designated by the TO. All the matchups have been predetermined to create a fun reason for whatever reason they're fighting, and a bunch of missions specific for those 2 armies, which is pretty awesome. There's 2,600 points, and I'll just jump straight into the list. So my list is kind of what you've been seeing for the rest of my battle reports. You've got Allgot's Demon Spew, the Bastard King, a Great Bray Shaman, the Swarmbringer, Mark Nurgle, level 4 of the Wild. I was using Lord of the Wild just to kind of to throw it in there. I wanted to try it out, see if it would do well, and end up being really fun. Jagged Dagger, Brass Cleaver, Talisman of Endurance, and Uncanny Senses. Then had a Herald of Nurgle, Octopus Prime, who's level 1, Lore of Nurgle, the Greater Locus of Fecundity, a Palanquin of Nurgle, and a Greater Gift, which I always changed out for the Bale Sword. 19 Chaos Warriors, the Legion, Mark Nurgle, Shields, full command, Gleaming Pennant. 28 Plague Bearers of Nurgle, Pus Tide, full command. 10 Gore, the Bloat Goat, the additional hammer of the Mark of Nurgle. 10 Ungore, Ramrot, Mark of Nurgle Musician. Another 10 Ungore, the Rust Herd with Mark of Nurgle, but no Musician. 3 Beasts of Nurgle, the Slobber Gobblers. 5 Chaos Furies, the Pox Pixies, a Gorby's Chariot, the Plague Plough, and 3 Plague Drones of Nurgle, Humbugs. This is his list. It was Skaven. He had a Clan Moulder themed list. So Clan Moulder are the Skaven clan that's all about mutating rats and stitching together pieces of rat to form bigger rats. It's all ratty. So it was all based around that. It was led by Throt the Unclean. He was the general. Had Chieftain, BSB, Stormbanner, and Halberd. A Warlock Engineer, level 1 with a Dispel Scroll. So that's all the magic he had. He didn't have level 4, a Great Seer or anything. He had 32 Clan Rats, full command shield. He had 27 Giant Rats with 3 Packmasters. Another unit, 27 Giant Rats with 3 Packmasters. He had 40 Skaven Slaves. 3 Rat Swarms, another unit of 3 Rat Swarms. 6 Rat Ogres with 3 Packmasters, and another unit of 6 Rat Ogres with 3 Packmasters. A Helped Abomination with Warpstone Spikes, a Brood Horror with Pestilent Breath. Now, a Brood Horror is one of the Storm of Magic Scrolls of Binding thing. It's kind of a basic monster thing. The best way I can think of describing it, it's kind of like a Helped Abomination without the random attacks and random movement. So that's kind of the area you're looking at. Then he's got 7 Wolf Rats, which are, again, a kind of similar thing. Scrolls of Binding type stuff. Not sure where the rules are exactly, but they're kind of just a tough rat cavalry type thing. Then he had 3 Storm Fiends with the Rattling Cannons, and a Doom Wheel. So here's a picture of deployments, and we're playing on a cool Lustria style board. The theme of this game was kind of a battle over Lustria between Nurgle and Skaven. And the mission for the game was table 6. So the board was divided into 6 equal chunks, and whoever had the most at the end of the game won. And to claim one, you just had any unit in one that wasn't being contested by an enemy unit. So obviously he had quite a big advantage here insofar that he had a lot of units. They're easy to kill, but there's a lot of them, so he could. That's what I thought he was going to do. So on my side here, you got Allgot's Demon Spew, my Plague Drones, my Warriors, next to them my Chariots, then my Beasts, behind them my Furies. Then you see 1 Plague Bearer there. He's marking the sort of the front left-hand corner of the Plague Bearers. I couldn't balance them on that bit. I tried, but that's a big unit to fall over if it does. And so I had my 3 units of Ungore, or my Beastmen in ambushing. And on his side, he's got a unit of 3 Giant Rats, his unit of Rat Ogres, and then his Brood Horror. And on this side, he's got his other unit of Rat Ogres, his Clan Rats with his BSB, Throt, and his Warlock Engineer. Then his Storm Friends. Then behind them, the Skaven Slaves, the Doom Wheel. Then a unit of Giant Rats, the Helped Abomination, the Wolf Rats. Behind the Wolf Rats are another unit of Giant Rats, And then just to the right of the Wolf Rats are another unit of Rat Swarmers. It'd also be worth mentioning in this game that all of the forests we have were venom thickets. So this was a special rule for the scenario, because we're in Lustria and everything's trying to kill us. They're all venom thickets. So they all cause dangerous terrain if you walk through them. As the reason I deployed like this, mainly I was just absolutely terrified of those rattling cannons on the Storm Fiends. I've heard about what they can do, and I wasn't too keen to take them on myself. So where I deployed my warriors, they'd at least get hard cover from any shooting. So would Orgots from being behind the units. My plague drones were kind of semi-covered by that forest. I was just going to move them forward and hope to get them as covered as possible. And then my plague drones or my warriors or my chariot would hopefully be able to get a long charge into them and sort them out. That was my plan. Otherwise I was just going to push forward and start murdering shit. Which is my go-to plan generally. Unfortunately he got to go first. So he kind of moves forward a bit cautiously, but he comes forward, so everything kind of comes forward. His Skaven slaves run forward through the forest and end up losing 10 to dangerous terrain, which is quite funny. I like to think the pack masters in there were just pushing Skaven slaves into Venus flytraps and stuff. So that was good. His magic is a wash. He only has one spell, which I dispelled. His shooting was out of range, so we go into my turn. And my ambushing was quite good. Both my Ungor and a unit of Gore come on the top right-hand corner over there. My Ungor face the back of the Rat Swarms, and my Gore just kind of move on to face whoever. My other unit of Ungor, you can see in the bottom left-hand corner, they came on my board edge. So I just put them on there to sort of help out that flank, which is a bit bare. So moving forward, I lose 3 warriors to dangerous terrain as I'm coming out of the Venom Thicket, but I'll have to take that. But they're nice and far forward now. Same as my plague drones and my Gore Beasts, so hopefully I'll be able to get a charge in on those Storm Fiends before they do too much damage. I push forward my Plague Bearers and my Beasts and put my Furies in front of the Hell Pit, so if it tries to charge my Chariot or my Beasts, it'll have a bit of a tough time doing it. It can't quite get a decent angle at them. That's the plan. So it'd have to come with my Plague Bearers. My Plague Bearers, I was fairly confident I could take them there. So we go to Magic, and I cast Rancid Visitations on his Wolf Rats. I managed to get it off, and I kill 5 of them, which is pretty sweet. I end up getting 2 Plague Bearers back from the lore attribute, and they fail a panic check, and they run away through they run through the giant rats. They do pass their panic check, fortunately, but I'll let you know right now they don't rally. So yeah, I don't know what they do or how good they are because I never got to fight them. Rest of nothing happens in the match phase. I've got no shooting when no one's in combat yet, so we go to top of 2. His Rat Swarms kind of come around forward. The other unit of Rat Swarms turns around to face the Ungor. Everything else just shifts around, faces things that they want to be facing. Like the giant rats face the Gore, for example. His Brood Horror charges my warriors, so we could kind of see how well that was doing. He had quite a long charge in it. I didn't see the charge. It was one of those things. Hopefully I'll be okay there. I mean, at the very least, I'm steadfast. And his A-bomb comes forward, but is 1 inch away from the Plague Bearers, so he didn't quite make it in there. That was cool. I think he actually failed a dangerous terrain from walking through the river, so that was quite fun. Then here's a better picture of his Brood Horror, and look at that thing. Looks pretty awesome, doesn't it? Slamming into the warriors. His magic phase, nothing happens. I dispel the spell again. In his Storm Fiends open up on my Plague Drones. They actually do really crap. He rolled really, really poorly. He rolled a low number of shots, and then because I'm a skirmisher, he's far away or whatever, and there's a forest in the way of some of them. He only managed, and I roll well on my ward saves, he actually only managed to get 1 wound through, which I was perfectly happy with. Unfortunately, then we go into combat, and he does pretty well. I only managed to get 1 wound through on him. He puts all his attacks on my Bray Shaman and gets 2 wounds through. He actually did through 3, but I passed on my ward saves, thank God. And his Thunderstomps kill 5 warriors. Fortunately, I'm steadfast, and I make my break check. So there's no other combat, so we go to my turn, and there's a lot of charges. On the left there, my Ungor and Orgots go into the Rat Swarms to finish them off, or to kill them. My Plague Drones slam into the Storm Fiends, and again he stands and shoots, and he ends up killing one. Again, rolled pretty poorly, but I'll take it. And I toyed with this for a long time. I wasn't sure where to put my Gorby's Chariot. I could have put them into the Storm Fiends to help out kill them, just make sure they die. I wasn't sure how my Plague Drones were doing combat. I could. I had a great chance at hitting the Doom Wheel. Could have gone to the Doom Wheel. I probably would have been able to kill it and that take his pretty much only cannon out of the game. But in the end, I decided to go into the side of the Brood Horror with it because I was just concerned that he'd kill my Brace Shaman. If I lost him at level 4 this early, without doing too much, that would be not good for my game. So he goes into the side of the Brood Horror. My Gore slam into the Giant Rats on the top of the hill there, and my Ungor hit the Rat Swarms. Oh, my Plague Bearers also charge into the Hell Pit Abomination. Then my beasts move forward and end up failing 2 dangerous terrain tests, going to the river and losing 2 wounds, which is great. Yay! Let's go into Magic Phase, and I cast Mantle of Gore Rock on my Brace Shaman. I get +3 strength and +5 attacks, which is awesome. Then we go straight to combat over here, and it's pretty brutal. With Orgots' 9 attacks and D6 Thunder Stomps and the handful of attacks from the Ungor, I just wipe them all out. I don't think they even crumble at all. I think just their attacks wipe them out, which is pretty awesome. When I reform like this, the idea was he had his unit of Rat Ogres facing them both sides. I didn't want to get hit in both sides at once with Orgots, so the Ungor were kind of there to inhibit that. Then we go to this combat over here. It doesn't go too badly. I take 2 wounds. I do 2 wounds back. So with my charge, my banner, and 2 wounds to his 2 wounds, I win combat by 2, but his general's right there and so is his BSB, makes his break no problem. But they're not shooting, that's the important thing. Over here, that's great. I managed to slam into the side of the Brood Horror and take it off. He didn't get a chance to strike. He's dead before he does. I can't remember if this is because of just impact hits, but yeah, that's fine. He's dead. He did. And I reform like this. Fortunately, I moved my Furies in the way of the Doom Wheel, so at least they can't charge anything straight off the bat. Over here, we get the Rat Swarms. This is the combat that everyone's looking forward to, I know. I take a wound. I do 2 wounds to him. So with my charge and my 2 wounds to his wound, I win by 2. He takes 2 more wounds, so he's down 4 wounds. Yay! I'm doing well there. It's pretty awesome. Over here, it's pretty brutal. I end up killing 7 rats. He kills 1. So with my charge, my 7 wounds to his 1 wound, I win, but he's steadfast. But it doesn't matter because he breaks anyway. Unfortunately, he does get away. I roll like a 3 to pursue. All the units pass their break checks, but he ends up there. That's cool. I'm okay with that. Over here, with the A-bomb, I move my Herald across just so he can get into corner to corner with him. He rolls the first one, a feed, so all models in base contact take a strength 6 hits, I think, something like that. I end up doing well with my regens. I only take 1 wound. I hit back and do 2 wounds back to the A-bomb. I think they were just Plague Bearer attacks. He rolled poorly on regens. So with my 3 ranks, my standard, my 2 wounds, and my charge to his 1 wound, I win combat, but he's stubborn. But he breaks anyway. Another stubborn break. Oh, it was really unfortunate. So I chase him down, end up here. I do end up losing 3 or 4 Plague Bearers to the dangerous terrain tests, but that's fine. I'll happily trade that for an A-bomb. When it comes to rolling for what happens when the A-bomb dies, he rolls a 4, I think, or 5, and the rats come out. And this is them coming out. They just get placed here. And then we go to his turn. And there's quite a lot of movement again. His Rat Ogres on the left-hand side charge my Ungor, and the other unit charges Orgots, and that's fine. The Doom Wheel hits the Furies. That's what I expect. The other unit of Giant Rats slams into the Gore Herd, and that's fine too. And the unit of Giant Rats that came out, the Rat Swarm that came out of the A-bomb, just kind of swivel around and to face to block off the beast Nurgle so they can't do anything useful. Here's a better picture of all the movement going over here in the combats. His magic phase is once more a wash. His shooting phase does nothing. So we go into combat over here. Goes pretty well. I think I end up doing 4 wounds to my Ungor. Actually, make my Primal Fury test, which is quite fun. So he does. I do 4 wounds to him. He does nothing back. I win by 4. He takes another 4 wounds. So he's only got 3 wounds left on the rest one. So pretty confident I'm going to win that one. Over here, it doesn't go quite as well. I do kill 4 rats. I don't think he does actually anything back to me, but with his 3 ranks, his charge to my 4 wounds. Maybe he must have done a wound. I lose and I break and I get run down. So that's my gore out of it. Over here, he rolls pretty poorly. He kills 1 fury. So with his charge, I do nothing back. So with his charge and his wound, I lose by 2. So 2 crumble, but I'm holding him up, which is cool. Over here, this Plague Drone. His Storm Fiends do another couple of wounds to my Plague Drones, and I end up only having 1 left, but that 1 Plague Drone managed to slap another 2 or 3 wounds on them. As with my 2 or 3 wounds, my standard, he loses combat and he breaks, and I chase him down, and I end up here. I think this wound is actually from Dangerous Train Test from going into the forest. So, yeah, that's great. So he's in a great position now. Really happy to get rid of those Storm Fiends. They were really concerning me. Over here, with the Ungor, it goes just about as well as you expect. They get absolutely massacred. Fortunately, when he overruns, he can't make it into contact with Orgots. So, happy about that. The combat with Orgots, again, that goes about as well as you expect. I do about 6 or 7 wounds to them. Not enough to break Steadfast, unfortunately, so he does make his break check. But the numbers are down, that's fine. Just working my way through. So then we go over here, and there's a bunch of charges again. My beasts slam into the rat swarms just to clear them out. My plague drone that killed the rattling guns hit the side of that giant rat swarm. I didn't really know if that was going to be worth it. I know I had a charge, a flank, and a banner, so combat res wise we were already even. As long as he didn't do a wound to me, I should win that combat. My warriors and my plague plough charge into the side of the clan rats. Unfortunately, my warriors don't make it, but the chariot does, so that's a bit concerning. I might not do very well there. At least the charge should be fine, but after that, not sure. So there's my magic is a wash. I do really bad. I roll really poorly, and he dispels what he needs to. There's no shooting, so he goes straight into combat. Over here, he issues when I issue a challenge, he accepts this time with his Packmaster. So he sacrifices him just to keep his steadfast, which is perfectly legitimate. So I absolutely murder the Packmaster, no problem. But it's not in combat, but he's steadfast. He makes his break check. So there you go. Over here, unbelievable. It turns out he had a secondary objective whereby if Throt the Unclean killed my Gorbeast chariot, he got a bit extra couple of victory points. So he moves Throt the Unclean over into base contact with my Gorbeast, and my impact hits kill 4, and then I decide I'm just going to try and kill him. So all my attacks from my charioteers and all my attack from my Gorbeast itself go on Throt, and I kill him. He's not that tough. He's only toughness 4 maybe. With a regen, and I put 7 attacks at all strength 5 on him. Went through, cut him down like butter. So I just killed his general. That was awesome. Turns out his attacks actually do D3 wounds each. So if he did get wounds on me, I'd be a bit screwed. That was awesome. So with my 4 7 wounds, my flank, my charge, to his he has 3 ranks of stand in a BSB, but I win combat. But he is steadfast still, so he sticks. Over here, this plague drone, he's going mental. He wins combat against the giant rats and they flee. Now that the general is dead, they piss off. So they run and I chase them down. I end up off the board edge, so this is me off the board edge. This plague drone, this guy's a beast. Remember I said that? This comes up in a later game. Over here, the Furies get finished off with the Doomwheel, and because I failed that charge, there's a horrible looking flank opened up there, so that was really shit. And over here, my beasts are no problem able to finish off the rat swarms. Surprise, surprise. Then we go to over here, and they win. Yay! My Ungor actually do something, and I end up just leaving them here for the rest of the game, capturing the table quarter. That's all they want to do. Then we remember that when the plague drone killed the unit of giant rats and ran them off the board, it would have caused a panic check when they were destroyed from this unit, and they were destroyed close enough to the board, close enough to the Skaven slaves that they have to take a panic check, and they fail, and they run like this. So they're running in a really stupid position now. It's his turn next. This would really annoy me if it wasn't his turn. If it was my turn next, they'd be right in the way. But that's fine. So they're already in a bit of a silly position now. So then we go to his turn. Stuff kind of turns face. His Skaven slaves do rally. His giant rats face my beasts. His rat ogres on the left there charge into Orgots. And that's about it. His doom wheel hits the warriors, which is bad. In a shooting phase, he misfires his doom wheel. But he rolls like a 5 or a 6, the one where nothing happens if you're in combat, so that was fine. Unfortunately, I was hoping he'd blow himself up. And over here, I end up putting all my attacks on or most of my attacks at least, on the Warlock Engineer. So the crew hit the Warlock Engineer just to kill his magic stuff. Kill that. End up killing one of the clan rats. So I do 3 wounds, and I've got a flank. Then he's got 3 ranks as standard and a BSB. He wins by 1. And I flee, and I get run down. Oh, stupid Skaven. I was unlucky with the number of wounds I did to what there. The Warlock Engineer died by like 3 or 4 wounds, but he can only take 2. It's not a challenge or anything. So if he had died by less, I wouldn't have run. If the wounds were just on the unit, I think I would have won the combat. I would have won the combat. I think so. That sucked, but oh well. Over here, goes back to what you think. Orgots manages to nearly finish off that unit of rat ogres. I do take a wound for my trouble from the unit to the side, but I still win combats, and the unit in front of me breaks and flees. The other unit doesn't break, so I can't chase him down or anything, but he's on double ones to rally, so I'm fine with that. He pisses off, and I'll let you know right now, he doesn't rally. And then I turn to face the unit of rat ogres. Then we go into my turn again. My plague drone comes back on the board at the back. My plague bearers kind of move around to come forward. My beasts charge the front of the giant rats, and that's all over. We pretty much go straight into combat here. My magic phase is... I think he shuts it down. I think I rolled poorly again. I can't remember what I tried to cast. I think I just tried to cast the bubble leadership test, but it's not doing anything. So in combat here, it's brutal. I kill about 12, 13 rats. He doesn't do anything back, and they break. I end up deciding not to pursue him. I just reform on the spot. He would need a 6 to stay on the board, and anything more than that, he'd run off. And he ends up rolling a 6, so he does stick on the board, unfortunately. I'll let you know right now, he doesn't rally. So he does flee off the board, so that's fine. This combat over here, he does another couple of wounds. I can't do anything back to him. And then over here, I kill 2 rat ogres. He doesn't do anything back, and he breaks and flees. Now there's BSBs out of the way, and there's no general nearby. He's on pretty poor leadership, so he breaks there and runs. I don't catch him, but that's fine. It's my turn next. No, it's not. Yeah, he still breaks. That's fine. Orgots is awesome. So then we go over here. He kind of moves around. His rat ogres don't rally, so they keep fleeing. His unit of giant rats runs off the board. His unit with the BSB kind of turns to face the beast. He did toy with charging, but he thought better of it. So we go into... His shooting doesn't do anything again. We go into combat, and he annihilates a whole bunch more of my warriors. He ends up doing a couple more wounds than is just shown in this picture. He breaks my steadfast and I flee. I just can't wound this thing. So yeah, I flee and he runs me down. So that's that. Don't know what to do about that. Oh, here. Then we go to here. Orgots charges the giant rats and they run off the board. My beasts and my plague drone charge the unit of clan rats with BSB. My plague bearers come forward to kind of just face stuff off, and that's that. In my magic phase, I cast the Rancid Visitations again on these slaves, just to try and get the numbers down a bit. If I can get some points for them, that'd be terrific. I end up miscasting 4. So I end up killing a whole bunch of plague bearers. I think about 6 or 7 plague bearers die. Fortunately, I do pass my get sucked down the hole test, so I do roll 4+ on that. And the spell does a decent amount of damage. I think I end up killing 12 or 13 slaves. He failed sort of 3 or 4 consecutive toughness tests, which is pretty awesome. And he fails his break check and pisses off, because now he's on leadership like 3 because he's only got 1 rank, and then leadership 2 or something basic, so he's pretty shit leadership. He pisses off. So that's terrific. Then we go into this combat, and it goes just about as well for me as you think. I really do a number on him. I kill about 12 or 13 rats, including his BSB. So that's great. He doesn't do anything back to me. But he's leadership 7 steadfast, so he does make his break check. But that's fine. I'll kill him next turn. Speaking of next turn, go over to his turn. His Skaven slaves fail to rally, but they just flee a little bit more. His Doomwheel comes over to my plague bearers, but doesn't hit them. Unfortunately, I was actually really hoping he would get into them. But there you go, can't win them all. His shooting phase is negligible, and there's no magic left. And we go into this combat, and it's same thing again. Lots of slaughter, lots of rats die. He just put a wound on a plague drone, so that that awesome plague drone is surviving on 1 wound, which is brilliant. So yeah, and he's he's not even steadfast anymore, so he breaks and I run him down. So that's awesome. So that's a nice chunk of points I got there. And over here we have my turn. I charge the Doom with the Plague Bearers. Hopefully I'll be able to kill it there with my Herald's D3 wound sword. My beasts charge the Skaven slaves and I catch them and kill them all. We end up just leaving them there because it's kind of the last turn, so there's no point moving them. So we go into combat here. He does kill 2 himself, but I end up putting 3 or 4 wounds onto him. He's down to 1 wound. So close. With my 2 ranks, my standard, and my charge, and my 3 or 4 wounds to his 2 wounds, I win combat by quite a significant amount, and he breaks. But I don't catch him. I can't catch anything ever. Never. So that's fine. So he runs into the tree. He nearly dies on dangerous terrain tests, which is really funny, but he doesn't quite die. But that's fine. So there you have it. There's the end of the game. With Orgots there, the beasts, my plague drone, my Ungor, I end up capturing 3 table quarters and contesting 1, and he had none. So table quarter wise, that was awesome. I win the game there. And victory points wise, it's also just as good. So there you go. Victory for Legions of Nurgle. Another quite good one. Really enjoyed this game. It's an absolutely beautiful army to play against. Really happy with playing that. I'd love a rematch. So hobby points wise, I got 3 table quarters, and victory points wise, it was 2,390 to 1,130. So quite a significant one for the first game. So I've got 2 more games of the Hobby Mingvitationals to go. I'm really looking forward to them. They're really good games. So as always, thanks for watching. Please put any comments or feedback you have in the comments section. And please like the video. Thanks very much. Bye.